we live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we ready? I just
ready?
had 3, 2.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sawadika.
Sawadika.
So we're in beautiful, relaxing, happening,
Yeah.
all those mixed together. So pretty much a mix of energies here in Pattaya, Thailand.
Yeah, it's
Right.
live now. Yes. Okay, it's going live now.
Yes.
So let me just try to hear the volume first. Okay.
So we will be talking on the moon, basically the moon cycle. The new moon starts today. We'll talk about some of the characteristics of this new moon, as well as what makes it special, especially in a very, very happening August to come. Today is also the start of Mercury retrograde, so that's probably why this is very interesting.
Pull out the mic, right? Because I can't hear, right? It's not connected
Oh,
again.
okay, all
Yeah.
right. So we were
Not
testing our sound for
Yeah,
very
we are
long.
testing our sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think now is better. Okay. So
Okay.
hopefully it stays
Very
this
good.
way. Don't
Okay.
touch the device.
right.
Okay.
So
Let's do it again. Hi everyone.
Sawadika.
Sawadee Yeah.
We're
here.
in beautiful Pattaya, where it is a whole bunch of energies here. It's a little bit of short family holiday. So, like I said, it's a big mixture, which is really the theme that we have at the end of summer going to autumn. Of course, much more on that when I finally have some space and the chance to share with you the full August Water Monkey Renshen month update. Right? But in the meantime, we're just going to talk a little bit about the characteristics of the new moon, which is today, August the 4th, and some key information there to share with you, yeah? Speaking of sharing,
I share first.
okay, all
You
right, so you're going to
continue
share
on,
first, right?
Okay.
So we just spent like a good 15 minutes, I think, not really just with the setup, which Nicole was doing, but we're trying to figure out why we couldn't get the audio connected properly, right? So I think fingers crossed it should be okay now, right? If you are listening to us now, please do give us your comment, your feedback, say a little hello, right? So that we know that this stream is going smooth. We are outstation. And also at the same time, like I said, we were having some issues getting the mic to work properly. Why? Well, as you know, usually it is easier to assign blame to Mercury retrograde, by the way, which is starting today. Again, much more about the explanation of this cycle, but since we're sharing, Jessie is just sharing to a page and all that. So every few times a year, right, as part of astronomy and as part of how we observe planets and all that, which is of course the foundation towards everything related to astrology, right? The observations and planetary movements, how energy cycles and time cycles move. So anyway, 3 times a year, Mercury seems to move backwards when we observe its orbit around the sun from Earth, right? So of course we know that generally time is, it's how to say it, on one layer you can call it linear. It keeps moving on forward. In the cyclical pattern, of course, it keeps coming back. But so it doesn't really reverse back in the yang part of the movement of time. But from Earth, when we observe Mercury, it looks like it's going backwards. And normally when it goes backwards in retrograde motion, it looks wobbly. So that's why generally one part of the energy of any Mercury retrograde is that there will be some instability to do with linkages, right? And of course, communication is one linkage. Anything to do with how things are linked to each other, how voice is transmitted, for example, and so on, technical issues, and all that normally is a sign, or it's normally part of the whole thing called Mercury retrograde. Anyway, but it starts today. So that's why that's particularly interesting, because it also is the new moon, right? But do you want to say a little hello first before I continue?
I was waiting for
Okay.
it since just now. And
All right.
yeah, I wanted to say this. Wow,
Go.
you can
Yeah.
really roll.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Hi, everyone. Hi, Alexis. Okay, I see that Alexis is here.
Hi, Alexis.
All right. So
Yep.
if you're tuning in right now, I know it's impromptu, right? It's Sunday, tea time, late afternoon, after your lunch, okay, wherever you are, right? We're going to share with you the outlook of August,
Hey,
right? And,
the new moon of August.
oh, it's not outlook of August, ah.
Not yet.
But I have prepared content about the outlook of August.
Oh, okay. Well, you can share that,
Okay.
right? And those of you who follow my monthly full outlook, right? So I will squeeze out. I was saying earlier on in this live, I will squeeze out some time this coming week to share the full details with you. But of course, Jessie will have some to share about
Yes,
that,
me.
and then we'll also be talking about the new moon, which is today,
All
of
right,
August, which of
okay.
course then starts off, presets off the month of August, including a very powerful full moon that we have on August 18th and also the 19th.
And as we have shared earlier on, you know that August kickstarts, okay, the very beginning, all right, of a very powerful, okay, phenomena of a stretch of 4 supermoons in a row. All right, so August, September, October, November, all these full moons, okay, in this month itself are considered supermoons. It's very powerful, especially the August one, which is also a supermoon at the same time it's a blue moon. All right, so you know, people always say it once in a blue moon. All right, so August, it's the important turning point. All right, and as you can tell by now, you know that we're supposed to be on a holiday, but yeah, okay, I'll have to say that there's a big chunk of us is still very related to work all the time. And of course, like Kong Yu was saying, like, dear, okay, do you want to do the new moon update? Okay, and of course, in the middle of like the rush and everything, is, okay, I have to prepare the contents, okay, for today's sharing, which we didn't cross-check whatsoever. And now I realized that, yeah, I prepared the wrong content. Okay, I prepared the outlook for August, okay, but it's okay. I guess everything happens for a reason.
Yes, correct. So
Yeah.
Jessie will get to that, right? Her interpretation of what's in store for August, right? Of course, then I'll get to the full technical one, hopefully sometime this coming week. We'll see what day it is, so I will announce it as normally on my page, right? So look out for that. But in the meantime, first things first, today, August 4th, right, is going to be the new moon, right? So in KL, Thailand sort of area, it's going to be in the evening at about 6 p.m. thereabouts, right, where the moon is dark, where if you look at the alignment of the sun and the moon, they're actually in a straight line, right, which is basically the start of the lunar cycle, right? And in this case, preceding the start of the new solar month, which is actually on August 7th, right, in a few days' time, right? So we see that this will set off the undertone on one perspective to the solar month, which starts in a few days' time. And secondly, about this is particularly important because of the very powerful and important full moon. I think Jessie will touch on that afterwards, right? Right, that is happening on August 18th and 19th, where we have timed our special program months ago, about half a year ago, right, to coincide with this Power Up Your Life.
Yeah.
It's happening from August 16th to 18th.
Yeah, we are very, very, in a way, excited and looking forward, okay, to this year's Power Up, because we will be expecting a much bigger crowd compared to last year.
Right.
I think we have exceeded like almost 10 participants, okay, in total, together with the team member for this year's Power Up 2.0. All right, so those of you who are in a way have joined us, okay, right, we are eager and looking forward to see all of you. And those of you who, okay, in a way, somehow, if you feel that you can still join us on that weekend itself, okay, do really sign up, okay, and join us for a breakthrough weekend.
That's right. We're starting to finalize the program, right? And it's very exciting, and we're very much looking forward to it. It's going to be pretty much completely changed,
Yeah.
right, from what the program last year.
I'll just say, it's like, I mean, in a way, because some of it remains, I think, very, very small, partial part of it.
Yeah.
20% the most,
Yeah.
15-20% the most, right? Majority of it will be changed because we do have a lot of repeat participants
Correct.
as well.
Correct.
All right, we have Hui Yi here.
Yes.
Okay, Shinjo, right?
Hi.
Tan Shinjo is
Hi,
here. Hi,
everyone.
thank you for joining us. Hui Yi, okay, which have already just finished helping us to babysit our babies, okay, in KL. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, okay,
Right.
Hui Yi, okay.
Nancy's
Nancy
here. Hi,
is
Nancy.
there, okay, right, from Italy.
Yes.
Right, I see your updates on your Facebook and all that, okay, very good, proud of you, keep it up, all
Yes.
right. And then Mr.
Right.
Lim is there as well, okay, right, thank you, okay. I still waiting for your videos, okay. Steve?
So now back to the new moon, which
Yeah.
is today, which precedes the solar month coming out in a few days, and also it coincides with the start of Mercury going retrograde, right? So that's going to be a large theme of August going into the solar month, especially in a few days' time, right? And following the development of the moon cycle. So there's so many aspects to it, but overall it's going to be a very important period, right, in also analyzing and reviewing, because those are the key terms for any Mercury retrograde period, where due to circumstances, of course, you will always have a practical reason to things one. You will see it happening in your life, right? It's because of this, it's because of that you have to actually, in a way, slow down, and also to re-look into things, assess deeper, with more awareness, come to a deeper conclusion. So those are the key terms when it comes to the retrograde period. Now, in what aspects? Well, so we can fill in the blanks here, and then you will see how then it will apply to you and in your personal life, right? So we find that this theme of retrograding is going to work with the new moon. That's one thing, right? And this is basically all about the will and the power and the motivation. So the good thing is that in every review period, it's normally like we look at it as an inward thing, which is very important, right? We are looking inwards so that then we can eventually at some point go outwards, right? Carry on with what we want to achieve. But then periodically, a retrograde period will let us do the inner work, for example, right? To have a certain slowdown or blockage manifest in our life so that then we can have this slowdown to look deeper or to recheck or to cross or to double check or to double confirm, whatever those aspects play out in your life, right? In this case, the good news is that it has a motivation behind it, right? Naturally, we'll be more motivated and inspired due to what we want to achieve. Right, so due to what we want to achieve in our new adjusted vibrational beings, right? As beings of, we contain energy, right? And then we're continuously vibrating. So what we're doing now is that with the new aligned vibration that most of us have gone through, right, in the past few years, since COVID and things like that, we have moved on to hopefully a new phase where we want to achieve something that is slightly different, or we want to improve our lives, or we want to completely change up our lives, depending, right, on what you were doing previous to this. And then with Chinese metaphysics and even with overall Western astrology, with Pluto moving into Aquarius, right, and then now retrograding back to the start of the Aquarius point, for period 9, of course, this is the first year that comes with the dragon, right, and the depths of the work that we need to do in the first year of period 9, which is a lot. And the good news is that it is both a mixture of inner work, adjustment of our inner self, how we see things, and then carry forward this adjustment into our outer self. So the dragon year is very, very uniquely strong like that, right? And it kicks off the period 9, specifically the wood dragon year, right? So this then going into retrograde period, of course, fits this cycle very well. And at the same time as well, we are also kicking off or transitioning very quickly into autumn, right? And this transition is usually already a transition which is quite abrupt because we're moving from a season where fire element is strong, and then we're going to a season where it starts to be weak, right? And with fire, earth strong in summer, and then with suddenly metal taking over. So normally the cooling off period is short, but it's even more drastic for this particular transition because we're moving from a pretty fiery months of Geng Wu and also Xin Wei, right? Especially Geng Wu, and the fact that we are coming from summer and then suddenly we're going into the Ren Shen month with water being very, very much a strong energy. Once we actually move into beyond the first week of August, especially, right? So, but again, refocusing back for my part anyway on the new moon, right? So we have all this going on, right? And we're entering into the review period, right? It's both a harvest and a review period that autumn is all about, right? In terms of the usage of the energy. So that's why then it coincides with a very timely Mercury retrograde, that's one thing. And then also with a very powerful moon cycle, which kicks off today. So in summary, a very good time, natural time for us to again go into not just harvest. The harvest part is, I think, very natural, right? Whatever results that we are reaping from whatever that we've already put into in the past, and particularly for this year so far. So that's on the very basic level. But on a deeper level, we have a chance now to do some inner work, contemplation, and also adjustments, right? Which ties in very well with the energy of Mercury retrograde, that's one. And then also with this entrance into autumn overall, with this monkey month. So that the new moon's core energy supports this. And the great news is, like I said, right? Sometimes when we are pushed into the more yin months, starting autumn, and we have even Mercury retrograde going on, but we may not be motivated. But in this case, right, due to the overall configuration of, for example, Mars, the planet of fire and also personal will, it is fired up, right? It's got some activation going on, right? So that's why it will boost our own inner fire for the average person and those who are connected overall even more so. And thus there is that. There is a motivation and there's a personal will towards wanting to get somewhere or to achieve something, and knowing and realizing that, look, I want this, I desire this, I want to head towards this over my period 9 life, but I need to work on a few things, right? I need to make the changes, I need to make the adjustments, I need to let go where it's not completely let go yet. I need to shift out of certain vibrations, certain environments, certain people, right? But the overall astrology shows us that this is still, there is still lingering work to do, right? So many of us are in the same position, but the good thing is, like I said, we have the motivation and we have the inner fire to go through this for this particular cycle of the retrograde, and then of course timing it to the autumn. So that's why the new moon is a very good point for us to go deeper into whatever that we want to achieve in this month of the monkey before we get into the rest of the autumn months overall.
You've done?
Yes.
Okay. As I mentioned, it's like I totally, because it was like happened so last minute, all right, I've totally in a way made a mistake, okay? I really thought that it's going to be an outlook for August, all right, which out of August will be scheduled on, we have no other day than Friday itself,
Probably,
right? So most probably,
August
we will,
9.
yeah, okay, August 9, which is already after.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the only day we have available because we have continuous workshop, okay, once we reach back to KL. But the thing is, okay, I think maybe on Friday itself, we might actually do a join together outlook, okay, for August itself. And today, let's keep it back to the new moon, lah. Okay, let's put it this way. The beginning of things, as like how Kong Yu have put it, all right, and a beginning of like entering into this Ren Shen month, and Kong Yu has put it in a way, it's like Mercury start retrograding, okay, emotionally, okay, everyone again will have like a misalignment of like probably communications. All right. So communications not only within like people externally or whatever, because within ourselves it's also like every instance, every moment we are communicating with our own self, right? How our intuition self, okay, is communicating with our logical self as well. All right. And due to the Mercury retrograding, I would say that this particular day, starting today itself, okay, and also because today is the 4th, right? Okay, today also is the official enter into the 7th month. Okay, in the lunar calendar, the 7th month.
New moon,
And those of you, right, because there's a new moon, right? Okay, and those of you who are familiar with the Chinese custom, you know, the 7th month, okay, or the monkey month itself is always in a way accustomed to what we call the Ghost Festival. All right, and the Ghost Festival itself, it's okay, right? This month itself is the month. Traditionally, also, every time it comes to 7th month, is where you will see human beings, okay, soulfully will be more, I would say, going through a more turmoil of things, okay? It's like human will feel more emotional, will be tested more emotionally. Now, especially this year, okay, as you can see that it started also on the alignment of the planetary where Mercury start retrograding, and it's also starting on the moon going into its phase, okay, where it is getting to the nearest ever, okay, in a stretch of time, okay, to Earth, okay, that's going to have a lot of impact because it's going to be supermoons for 4 consecutive months. And not only that, it is also a blue moon, okay, starting this month itself, and it's also a Ren Shen, okay, in terms of like Chinese metaphysics pillar. And you know, Ren Shen itself, as a beginning, as a new moon itself, it in a way resembles, or in a way, the imagery itself, right? Okay, it in a way shows of like some breaking out, some cracking, some beginning of the source, okay, of water that's coming up, is starting because we're still at the new moon, right? Where this source of water itself will capture its strength, okay, and will get into its highest during the full moon. All right, as you can see, Ren Shen, those of you who know Bazi, right? Okay, Ren Shen is a very, very strong, I would say, water, a magnet of water.
Yeah.
Okay, it's pulling the water. Imagine it's like the sea behind us, okay, where the source is continuously is there, okay. It's like all, I would say, rivers, okay, in a way drains out, okay, to the sea itself. So you will see that the sources are always there, and the water will just get intensified. From this new moon onwards, okay, it will just get intensified, and I will just really think about it, okay, as in like the Ren Shen itself is the resource is there, it's starting off the source. But eventually, as we gradually goes day by day up to the full moon itself,
especially,
right? Especially the full moon, right? You will see a Ren Shen with a whole formations of Sun Zhe Chen.
Yes.
I will say.
And then also, suddenly the image has come to me. I mean, I've actually written out the forecast in writing, which is part of the big bulk of our newsletter that's published every month, right? As Jessie was saying, Then also the image of basically we talk about the ocean tides, the cycle of water, the ocean behind us, right? So that is of course something that is powered by the power of the moon, right? Where it is, you know, the tides are controlled, the currents are controlled by the moon, and then literally you've got the Keng, okay, which is sitting in the monkey, that is actually being the source of the energy of the water itself. So that's how powerful this water cycle is going to be. That's one.
In the dragon year.
In the dragon year.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
And at the same time, with the full moon that is coming up in the Ren Shen month, this month itself,
Ren
on
Shen
August
month.
18 and 19.
Yeah,
So
and you have the monkey and the
That's
dragon.
right.
It's pushing out the rat, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
it's a silent push. And you know this rat is like I would say it's like it's not a marathon, it's sprinting to come out, okay, because it's like the next month itself is a Kuei Yo, where the rat is fully out.
Yeah.
So you see that by the full moon itself, right, okay, the water will just get intensified, okay, for this month itself, especially with the stretch of like super moons that's coming up, right? And starting from this resource itself, it means that the source of it. So I think it will be a good thing for everyone to, in a way, pay attention or have the awareness that basically this new moon will start to trigger everyone's emotions. Okay, I'm sure it's like probably some of you will be like, oh, my emotions got triggered every day, all right? But trust me, this new moon itself, it will trigger even more, okay? Emotionally will be triggered, okay? And not only that, okay, these emotions that we get triggered itself, right, okay? In a way, we might get lost into it, okay? Because it's like a tsunami that's about to happen, right? So it's like now, okay, it's just like the calm right before the storm that is bound to happen during the full moon. All right, and then during this particular moment itself, it's very important for us to look into the resource of thing. Okay, as in like, what is the cause of the thing? What's the core trigger of the things? What is the purpose of everything that we are doing? Right, that's very important, because if not, right, if we don't try to look deeper into it, this new moon itself, okay, is supposed to show us deeper into the core, the resource, what exactly that is magnetizing these emotions, pulling in these emotions within us in our life itself. If we do not know the cause, we just know the effect. The effect is just that the water has never been settled. The water has never been calm. All right. The sea is always like, in a way, like, how to say, the waves is like constantly, in a way, like splashing here and there.
Yeah. The
But we
currents
have, the
are
currents,
constantly
okay, are
strong.
constantly strong.
Right.
But the thing is, we have to understand why is this current there in the first place. All right. So this new moon onwards is the best time for us to, in a way, look towards that. Okay. Go deep. Okay. Beyond all this like currents or waves that is like in a way splashing all over us. Go deep down to the core, to the resource, to the root of the things, okay, to find out once and for all what is the cause of it. And that's why you see in this month itself, we have lineups, okay, like many programs itself, okay, it's like really going back to our core understanding about ourselves. Of course, first thing up, we have also Tarot, Your Core and You.
Yes.
All right, workshop, all right, where in a way we're supposed to be like looking deep into our core value, okay, to understand about our core purpose, okay?
And so to re-anchor back to that.
Yeah, okay, and then after that, we have also...
Right. Speaking of vibration and energy and everything, so as part of our extension of our work, so we're taking the understanding and then, of course, the discovery and also then the usage, right, of the strongest personal vibration to each and every one of us, which is basically our voice. Right, because everything is energy, right, and energy is all made of some sort of vibration, some wave and some vibration overall.
Yeah.
So why not really tap into your most powerful vibration, which is your voice? For many of us, we have to learn to use it. I underwent years and in fact decades, coming up to decades of understanding how to use my voice. Right, from my early starts where I didn't know how to, in my early 20s all the way up to my broadcasting work. And now with the understanding overall of energy and astrology and everything, right, we've come to a place where we're like, okay, you know what, it's time for us to be in control of our most personal vibration, so that when we do that, then we have a better chance of being in control of everything that we want to create, everything that we desire and that we want to see come to fruition and that we want to manifest.
Yeah.
Right. So, and even in recent days also, Jessie also gave me another like lesson, or for her it comes as some sort of a knock. It's like, okay, you know, you're leaking your energy and your vibration because you have said this. So whatever that we say, and it's obviously an extension of our speech and our voice. So, and this also will then form part of the manifestation power, right? So that's why we can leak energy that way, or we can say the wrong things, or we can express or not express ourselves, right? Because it's both, right? In a way that hinders really what we want deep down inside. Right? So this is going to be the first step towards this. It's an online workshop, right? That's called The Power of Your Voice in Manifesting Your Destiny, right? It's a bit of a long name, but we're talking about speech and voice, right? So this is happening online in Malaysia time. This 2:30 p.m. on August 11th, right, which is the Sunday after Tarot Call the previous day, right? So I know many of you have signed up for it, right? And then, of course, just a reminder, if you are a Soul's Journey Nepal student, this is somewhat of a compulsory thing for you to go through.
Yep.
Right, and we've already sent out a reminder email on that.
Yeah.
Right. So
I wouldn't call it compulsory, but it's highly
Almost.
almost compulsory. But you do have a choice, right? But I would say that to make the whole, I would say, journey worthwhile, okay, it's highly recommended for you to join this particular workshop as well.
Yeah.
All right.
And then also just a short note here, right? I know if you're uncomfortable generally as a person who is not comfortable speaking that much, if you are in a work in an area and your personality overall, right, is somebody who is like a little bit reluctant to speak, for example, well, this is going to be a very important first step for you to break through.
Yeah.
Because this is what we all need to do at some point, especially for a period like period 9. Right? So don't hesitate, right? And if there's that blockage there holding you from discovering your voice further, ask yourself why. Right, and the best thing is that if you can break out of it and just try, right, by signing up and participating in this very beginner-friendly workshop, that will be a challenge for you. So I hope you can take that up.
Yeah, and the best thing is like you're doing it at your own sacred space, you know?
Yes.
It's like because it's online, all right, so you are doing it at a safe space of your home where it's not that you have to come together, okay, as everyone in the group, all right, to learn this, to express yourself whatsoever, okay? Because how you express it will show you the way, right? Because whatever or however you're doing it is like really, it's your own practice within your own safe space, okay? So this is happening on the 11th of August, okay? And again, on the 12th of August, that's how our schedule is, okay? 10, 11, 12, okay?
Right.
I have also something on the 7th and the 8th,
Yes.
all right? So on the 12th of August, okay, I'm not sure whether we have any more like slots available, okay?
Correct.
But it's okay, I'll just share with you. We have that the inner child, okay? It's like, we are in a way like working with Life Hot Yoga, okay? It's a space where we have the area yoga, all right, available, because a lot of you have signed up, okay? I'm not sure whether we have space or not, again, like to show you that it is the purpose of this month's workshop of bringing everyone back to the core issues of things, that source, okay, of things that's triggering all our emotions and all. All right, so on the 12th of August, we do have the Inner Child Workshop that's happening at Life Hot Yoga. So if you have not signed up for it, if you're curious about it, do check up in the link, okay, to see if there's any more space available.
I actually subconsciously excluded it.
Oh,
because it's almost full, right? So, but we
I'm
can
not sure. It has probably full or whatever, but it's okay.
But we can put
right?
that back
Nicole
up.
can, in a way, help me just share the link in the comment.
Yeah, in the
okay?
comment,
Yeah,
works.
and then
Okay.
we also have
Our
the
Power
Power
Up Your
Up
Life.
2.0
Yes.
as well.
Right.
All right, so
that's
in a way,
happening on August 16th to 18th.
yes.
In case,
all right, in Song Yen, Bukit
yes,
Tinggi.
Song
All
Yen,
right,
Bukit
so
Tinggi.
it's near to, Genting, Bukit Tinggi area.
Right.
So if you so happen, if you are from overseas, you so happen to be in Malaysia, or you're planning a weekend holiday, a short trip over to Malaysia, right, this will be a powerful workshop that we highly recommend you to join us. And I will say that this year itself, okay, we have miraculously, because it's the second time for us to do it, okay, normally I expect the first time doing it, it will be a bigger crowd, but somehow, okay, this year's we have in total number, okay, we have a bigger crowd compared to last year,
Yes.
all right, and we are very, very thankful, okay, to every one of you who have signed up for it, okay, and for those of you, all right, if you feel that on August 16, 17, and 18, all right, if you're available, we highly recommend you to join, because this is the first opening of the Humans portal in the whole entire periods 9.
Yeah.
Okay, right? There's the full moon that's happening. All right, and this is a very important, I would say, time slots. Okay, that harness the opening of the portal or the gate. All right, that's why in a way, right, this is so important that in Taoism itself, it has been regarded as like the Ghost Festival. Right, how we get rid of all our internal blockages, our fear, to break through so that we can, in a way, rise higher energetically to be more successful, whatsoever it is, okay? The best time to do it is during the portal itself.
Correct.
Okay, which is opening on the 18th.
Yes.
The 5th, I would say 17th night is the peak of the opening.
Yeah.
All right, in Chinese we have 7月14晚啊.
Yeah.
All right, the eve of the
The
full moon.
eve of, and of course for the 24 hours after that, I guess, plus
Yeah.
minus. And here's the thing, because, you know, just, of course, with a program, special program like this, there's always date selection going on, right? So last year, yes, Jessie also selected the Ting Si month and the opening of the Ting Si month for
Yeah.
Power of Your Life in May. And this year, at the first layer, I just wanted to share this. On the first layer, she was like, I think we want to target it during the lunar 7th month. Then, of course, we're like, okay, interesting. And then for all of us, we're all prepared because, because we're quite open that way. And at the same time, it's such a good idea because it taps into the gate, the portal opening.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, for us, it's of course we know about the gate and the portal
Yes.
opening itself.
Right.
At first, I do have a question mark, nor a doubt.
Yes.
Okay, I'm human as well.
Right.
As in, like,
Right.
what is Ghost Festival? Will anyone even join us in that month itself? Right? Because at the end of the day, you know, it's business. We have to be practical as well.
Yes.
All right? Because we seriously do not know whether people will join us during the Ghost Festival, which is the most taboo month of all.
Yeah.
All right, because a lot of people is like, in a way, what? You're going to Bukit Tinggi area, right, during the Ghost Festival month? Are you insane or are you out of your mind? But surprise, okay, we have a crowd bigger than last year.
Correct. And so that's one layer, right? The second layer is then, of course, we didn't know how powerful this moon cycle that culminates with the 15th was going to be, right? Because every year, the 7th month, yes, it's a powerful time. The 14, 15 is very powerful, but this particular year is extremely
Yes.
special.
Yeah.
Also.
Okay, a stretch of 4 supermoons
That's
in a
right.
row, and especially the August one is a blue moon.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
you're going to have a lot of the support of the lunar energy, shall we say, right? In a personal breakthrough period, right? Program that is tied up. So again, I know many of you have signed up. Thank you so much. We look forward to it. But in case really you've been thinking about it and you've either had a lot of real reasons or obstacles, right, to block you from committing, and maybe now you want to you relook into it. So I think there's still a few spots
Of
left.
course, we do have
Yes,
spots because
so
in a way
please do join us.
we book up the whole entire area
Yes,
this year. I
yeah.
mean, last year we didn't manage to book up the whole entire area,
Yep.
but this year we book up the whole entire area.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like it all belongs to us. Okay.
So Angel
All right.
is here. I think she just joined us. Hi, Angel.
Hi, Angel.
Right?
Okay.
And then Nancy was saying, I know someone so reluctant to speak online.
Haha. Okay, not anymore.
Yes.
I also see someone who is like trying very best, okay, to break through, okay,
Yes.
right, doing more online sharings and all that as well. Is
Amazing,
that right?
yeah.
Okay, keep it up.
Keep it up. And
All
then
right.
Jacqueline has a question, right? Jessie Sifu, can you explain a little about your tarot workshop?
Okay, this tarot workshops, Tarot Your Core and You, okay, is just a mini workshop, right, to understand our date of birth in relations to our personal, I would say, tarot core card. All right, and this particular card itself, okay, has a lot of things to tell us about our life purpose here on Earth. All right, so this particular workshop itself is for us to learn. We do not need a tarot deck. We just need our date of birth, okay, where I will be sharing with you how to calculate out, okay, to understand your core card itself, and from that core card to know our strength, our weaknesses, and what will be our ideal purpose. What are the things that we should be doing? Because if not, a lot of times, right, people are working on something, and yet this whatever something that they're working on is not fulfilling them enough in their life or at all in their life. Okay, so tarot your core and you itself, okay, is supposed to in a way match you back together with the purpose that you're supposed to be in a way working towards on. So if everything in your life aligns to your purpose, okay, you will lead a very fulfilling, all right, life itself, okay, joyful and fulfilling. But the more you are distanced from your purpose, the further it goes from you, okay, the further you are misaligned, okay, you will find that so-called more like disruptions, bad luck, okay, misalignment, okay, things like emotional triggers or whatever, this will come, okay, even more in your life itself. And of course, after so many years of teaching Chinese metaphysics, okay, and all tools, okay, that is relating to Chinese metaphysics, including tarot, because those of you who have learned from me, you know that I never teach it traditionally like the Western, okay, tarot a way of reading the cards, okay. I, in a way, use the card itself as a tool, but I implement it into the 5 elements, okay, and the principle of yin and yang into reading the cards as well, okay. So it's always in a way, the core is always Chinese metaphysics, right? And I have discovered and realized, okay, which is not difficult to realize, that tarot is the easiest, not one of them, but the easiest tool to learn, to understand, okay, and to relate it to yourself or with your client, okay, to use as a tool of self-discovery. It's so much easier than I Ching, so much easier than Bazi or Feng Shui or any other tools, okay? It's the easiest tool to understand, okay, and to master.
Right. So
That's why we have produced many tarot, I would say, like mastery students or consultants out there who are either using this as their side gig, side income, or as a full-time, I would say, thing, okay, for themselves. Yeah.
Right. So it's a very, very easy to use tool, right? Comparatively, right, to a lot of other tools.
Angel, say, I'm glad that I learned tarot from you, okay? I'm very, very glad that you take it up too.
Yes.
And especially with the amount of effort, okay, and things and sharings, okay, and energies you put into spreading tarot around. Like, so proud.
Yeah. So, but if you're new to this, of course, Tarot Call will be excellent because it's a very a good way to get started, right? About your soul card and purpose and extension of that, your lessons and so on. And at the same time as well, this is again a very perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
Right? In a year like this, a very deep year like 2024, at the same time moving into the autumn season as well with such powerful energies, especially for August 2024.
Catherine Cho was asking, do we need to get a tarot cards, okay, before the training? Not for tarot, your core and you. Come to this class, it's only 50 ringgit, all right, to understand more about yourself, to learn more about tarot and see what it can do for you first, right? Then only if you decide to bring it more professionally to a masterclass level, then you will need to get a deck. Okay, if not, you do not need to get a deck for this workshop. Okay, for this tarot, your core and you do not need to get a deck for the workshop.
Correct.
All right.
Right.
So I really hope, okay, all of you, in fact, I would say that tarot is a self tool. Okay, it's a self mastery tool that all of us should be equipped of. I mean, for my children, you know that Anne and Nicole, okay, now they're like certified tarot consultants. Anne has been reading tarot for other people, for events and all that ever since she's 16. Right, she's been reading in the temple, and by the age of 18 and 19, she have read like for GSC, she have read for Fendi, right? Have she read for Dior? I'm not sure. Okay, I have to ask her. It's like, what are the branded things she have read for Icon magazine and all that as well? Okay, so it is something that if a teenager can master it, and imagine that she's doing the reading for professionals, you know, like when she did for Fendi and all that, okay, she's like doing it for business owner, like for a lawyer, because she shared all her experience with me after the workshops itself. Now imagine if someone as a teenage can do it, right? I'm sure all of you can manage it as well, all right? Because it's so simple and yet so profound and deep, all right? So I really in no way call out that everyone, send your children. I mean, as long as they are in their teenage life, you can send them in for them to learn it, to have a side skill on their own, and it is a tool that they can bring along with them throughout their entire lifetime, okay, as a self-help, right? Whenever we just need help, we need a deeper insight, we need some wisdom into guiding us in our path of life itself, tarot is the tool for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect time to get into it if you're completely new, right? And also for all of us along the path that we're living. For many of you, will be following a spiritual life of some sort, right? This is really a good time to anchor back down to that purpose, remind yourself what that is, right? With tarot and also generally, because this is a very powerful time for us to have that purpose very strongly reminded and anchored, so that then we can do all those adjustments that the time period, that the month of August allows us to do, that the full moon supports the moon cycle overall, starting today, the new moon itself, for the rest of the month, right?
Yeah.
So this is a very, very powerful month from those perspectives.
Yeah.
Kicking
Okay.
off with the new moon, coinciding with the Mercury retrograde cycle starting today into the next few weeks to come.
Yeah, and then do, in a way, share this out and join us on Friday night, Malaysia time. Okay, we'll be throwing in outlook of August, okay, for all of you, right? A more in-depth way, because Nancy put it, Jessie, all your content are profound and deep. I mean, especially this month, you see, Ren Shen is a very deep, okay, down to the root, to the core pillar, all right? And we are moving into autumn, going into winter, where the yin energy is getting, in a way, rising in terms of yin energy, and the yang energy is, in a way, slowly like I would say, how to say, dwindling off, okay, if that how you put it. So this is the best time for us, with the help of 4 consecutive supermoons that's coming up. It's the best time for us to go deep. All right?
That's right.
So in a way, all right, that's all.
Okay.
For now,
So
we have to
wrapping
go out.
up this particular session, and of course, it looks like we fixed the date for our August Water Monkey Renshen forecast.
That's the only date we have. Yeah.
August 9th, Friday, right? So
Yep.
stay tuned for that. In the meantime, time for us to say goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
ขอบคุณ
much.
ครับ
Bye-bye. ขอบคุณ
Right.
ครับ Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ